environment, those who have economics as a background, or maybe they are already have the information of economics, or maybe they have came through the BBA. So in BBA, we also have economic environment paper. But anyway, before starting the paper, let's talk about what is business. Anyone who wants to answer this? What is business?
Ma'am, business is the exchange of commodity between a buyer and seller, where the understanding between them and the economic activity like transaction of money occur in between them, in my opinion.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else who wants to answer this? What is business? You know, in management, when we normally ask what is business, in a very simple word, someone is answering like this, that is being busy. So business means being busy. But really, this is justified. I might be say no, it is not exactly justified. Somehow, if you say yes, being busy is somehow we called, okay, fine, it's business. But every time, just a minute. Okay, but every time you can't say that being busy means business. Yes, being busy, but that must be a motive, that is to earn profit. You have to be being busy, but there must be a motive, that is to earn profit. That is what we call business. Now came to what is environment. If a 10th class student will answer what is an environment, he must be say environment is surrounding. Fine. But when we see in particularly while we are studying a kind of a subject which is called a professional education, we can't say that environment means surrounding. No, surrounding, but if it is make any impact, maybe positive or maybe negative. If it is make any impact to your business, then it comes to you as the environment of business. If it is not making any impact, maybe it is positive impact or negative impact, then we will not consider that as a environment. Now, what is economics? What is economics? Economics consists of various things. Fine. Like economics consists of two different branches, that is called macroeconomics and microeconomics. Remember what we will going to be study, that is microeconomics, not macro one. So what is economics? Economics means a particular policy, a particular rules, regulation, which make a system more stronger in terms of gaining sustainability, gaining profit, and moving ahead in terms of development. That is what we call economy. And in that economy, there are various things that we need to be covered. Fine. If you see your syllabus, your first unit is revolving around the different type of environment, that is internal environment, external environment. I'm talking about business environment. It was first we'll talk about what is business environment. Then we will talk about what is micro environment and what is macro environment. Then came to macro environment. One of the component of macro environment is economic environment. Then we'll study what is economic environment and what are the different types of non-economic environment we have in India. So Then we'll talk about what are the factors and forces that make impact on economic environment. Then we'll talk about, I know slides are not showing right now because I'm trying to, but there are some problem in internet. That's why it was not stable. Once it is being stable, I'll show the slides. Fine. Then in first unit, we'll also going to cover some of the strategies that is being adopted by the business environment to make sustainability. If a business environment requires sustainability, for that, there are some particular kind of strategies that is being adopted. So what are that strategies that we also covered that in the first unit. In the first unit also we have CSR, corporate social responsibility, and definitely we'll cover what is corporate social responsibility, what are the pros and cons of the social responsibility, why it is very popular amongst the business environment, and how it is benefited to the business environment. If someone is making CSR, how it is benefited, that also we will cover in the first unit. And the first unit or last portion is called consumerization. I believe you all must heard about a particular statement that is called consumer is king. Both timely when we try to buy something from the market, maybe consumer is king. Now, what do you mean by consumer is king? Or consumer is it's a priority for the seller, because consumer someone who is making buying your product in exchange of money. Apart from that, the person will spread positive and negative vibes for your product. So that's why we always say that consumer is king and needs to be pampered the consumer time to time. So that also being covered in the first unit. Unit 2 re apanଙ୍କର କ'ଣ ଅଛି na role of government and about the various policies that is being processed by government to facilitate the business environment, to make effective business environment, or you can say that sustainability being created through these policies. ଯେମିତି କି ଆମେ second unit ରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପଢିବା policies like industrial policy. We'll definitely talk about the MRTP Act. Then second unit re apanଙ୍କର maybe we have globalization, privatization, and this concept. Third unit question to third unit re we will cover your GATT WTO. GATT and WTO both are very essential in terms of studying point of view. Then we have your fourth unit. Fourth unit somehow revolving around the financial environment. Financial environment re apana padhibe specifically the role of RBI, the role of SEBI. We have different commodity exchange and how they are working. These commodity exchanges are. So takku ame padhiba. That was on fourth unit. And came to the fifth unit. Fifth unit is something which is devoted to the sickness of the industrial sickness. Ame padhiba. Priorities padhiba. Price indifferences padhiba. So that was came under the fifth unit. Fine. This is what broadly will going to be covered in the next 10 classes. So yet I'm actually try to connect the laptop because I'm taking from the mobile phone, and slides are there in the laptop. Let's continue the class. देखिए ता मझे जदी connect hela ebe भी connect होनी. The connect hela jodi mujhe slide dekhebi. Otherwise can I do one thing, and it was not there in my mobile phone. Otherwise I will share. ठीक अछि. I'll try. ମୁଁ try କରିବି कि ମୁଁ WhatsApp ରେ नले आजिर जेतिकिटा पाठटा पढेबी सेतिकी slide ମୁଁ WhatsApp रे तमनको share करदेबी आजिर at least. Okay. Now came to what is business environment. Fine. Before going to understand business environment, one must have to understand what is economy, because ame jaha bhi syllabus re achi jaha bhi padiba, that is somehow revolving around the economy and business environment. First try to understand what is economy. And while we're talking about economy is revolving around a particular cycle. Indian economy jodi ame kohuchu, it was revolving around a particular cycle. What particular cycle achi? जहाँ through रे हमें economic environment और खाली economy टा को देखो and what is that cycle and how it was performing. That cycle is performing through different 4 phases. 4 different phases through रे cycle टा perform करूची and the phases are or the 4 different players are called individuals. We have individuals are the one of the major player of the economy. Then we have households, we have industries and wealth of the economy. These are 4 different players who makes a business cycle. Actually business cycle ro kamo kono seta tike age bujhi diyo. Business cycle ro basic kamo hela ki how to encourage the business environment. केमती encourage करिबो business environment को ता छडा what else was there ता छडा रोची कोन ना आपनकर it was not only moving the business environment but also it comprise of different entities जो माने कि business environment को smoothly run करूचंदी and that is what ये जो चारटा different cycles रहिला एमानी particularly business environment को move करूचंदी fine. Now how you might be ask a question कि केमती होबो केमती business environment को माने run करूचंदी or move करूचंदी. Very simple thing was there कोन ना जेतला में business environment पढुचु we'll talk about different kind of entities and the first entity hela ki na first entity is called your an individual. Now how an individual sorry, how an individual plays a very vital role. But individual केमती गोटे बहुत vital role play करूची in the business cycle. An individual कथा भाबंतु आपण जने individual आपणकर गोटे business cycle रे contribution कोन. If I ask a question that what is your contribution for a business cycle, what is going to be your answer? आपणकर contribution कोन. For an example, I as an individual, I work in a educational industry. ठीक अछि मो educational industry रे काम करछि मो काम हला कोन मो काम हला to create skill in the people. मो काम हला लोकन को पिलन को भितरे skill generate करेबा. Fine, this is what my work. Now if I am able to create skill in the people, then my work is over. Fine, simply any individual who work in any organization, maybe it was a production house or maybe it was like me as an educational institution रे काम करूचंदी जी जोटी भी काम करंतु every particular individual who work he work for a basic गोटे basic ideology संग काम करूची और गोटे basic काम को finished off करूची. Fine. Now every individual or household are working for a particular purpose. What a particular purpose they come करचंदी. Now while they are working, they working for or to earn, not for but to earn money. Fine. आपण मन को भितरे के बैंक रे चाकरी करची के इंश्योरेंस रे अछि. Someone is a HR person, someone is a marketing person. Fine. So remember, whatever you do, you are doing the work to earn money. आपण काम को पैसा earn करिया once got the money. Fine. Next what? Next is you have to keep that money in a very safe place. देखो तो जो चारटा entity रहिला, one is an individual, then the individual work for any company. While he was working for a company, the company came along with a full-fledged product and the individual is paid with the organization. Got it? So vice versa चलिला कोन ना आपण जाई गोटे इंडस्ट्री रे काम करचंदी इंडस्ट्री पई के आप full-fledged product बनले and in return of that you are being paid by the organization. Now next is what Once you got the money and the industry came along with the full face product, it was came to the commercial market. The product banigala, so that's a commercial market. Now, once it is into the commercial market, it is being, purchased by the individual person. ବୁଝିହଉଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ କୌଣସି ଜିନିଷ ବନଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଟା କମର୍ସିଆଲ ମାର୍କେଟ କୁ ଆସୁଛି କମର୍ସିଆଲ ମାର୍କେଟ ରୁ କୋଉମାନେ କିଣୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ବି ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଅଲସୋ procured person ଆପଣ ବି purchase କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଅନ୍ୟମାନେ ବି purchase କରୁଛନ୍ତି and in that whatever money you are or as a wage or salary that is explained by you ଆପଣ ତାକୁ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରୁଛନ୍ତି to buy product and in this way the industries are being earned well and ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି ମାନେ ଇନକମ କରୁଛି ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଇନକମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ସେଟା
मैम अपन का वॉइस ब्रेक होचे मैम यस मैम
ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ନେଟୱର୍କ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ ସମୟ ଦିଅ Now it's fine. Is it audible clearly?
यस मैम
Okay. Okay. So the household and the industry people both are looking for a superior entity where they have to keep their, money or their earning. That superiority, the superior entity is a financial organization. That might be, RBI, or that might be SEBI, or that might be, IRD of India. So one has to keep that money in a superior entity, and that is how the money is came to the financial institution. And these are the way to create a cycle. The same entity also money from us, and then they will came along with a profit of the individual. It was not only they are keeping that money, they are not keeping that money in an ideal condition. No, none of the organization, neither RBI nor SEBI nor IRD of India, they are not keeping the money in an ideal condition. They try to move the money. They try to, create surplus for the people. So this is what we call the business cycle. जो पैसा टाकी फिर से आपनकर हाउसहोल्ड पाखको रिटर्न आसुची as a profit. आज without slide रे पढ़ी दियो next class for slide I will share. Now came to what is economic environment. Right? So as I have already told you that economic environment is something which is moved by the different policies, rules and regulations to make or to create better economic environment. Upon the economic environment, economic environment actually consists of some external forces and internal forces. Right? Now these external forces and internal forces influence the business environment, influence the economy, and try to move in an upward direction. Environment, just 2 to 3 minutes back, I told you what is an environment. Environment is consists of that forces. Environment consists of that factors which affect you in a negative way, in a positive way. But it must have to affect you. मुझे भी बहुत टाइम रे पिला हुए कि फॉर एन एग्जांपल आज जेमती आपनकर आमे ऑनलाइन क्लास करछ एंड वी नो व्हाट इज द essentiality of the internet connection. So maybe I have a limited internet connection maybe I don't know, but because of that reason it was worked in my mobile phone but it was not working in my laptop. So right now, if I say for me, this internet connection, and for you also, this internet connection plays a very vital role. Same digital economic environment or environment katha kochu, environment consists of that external or internal factors and forces which make an impact on the environment directly. Same economic environment पहले कौन बुझे? Economic environment consists of external factors and internal factors and forces which create some impact on the business market, which also create impact on the economic rules regulation and also influence the business at a certain extent. That is what the economic environment. Now, while we're talking about economic environment further divided into two parts. Gote hela kono na microeconomic environment. One is called macroeconomic environment. Now, while we're talking about microeconomic environment is something which is consists of different factors, and macroeconomic environment also consists of different factors. But ame jo syllabus paduchu, that is somehow very much related to micro environment, not macro environment. Now came to the next how gote kama kari habo despite of this. You all are there in your group? You all are there in the group?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just see this. I have placed ସେଟା କୋଉଟାକୁ ଗଲା ତାପରେ କୋଉ ଗ୍ରୁପ କୁ ଗଲା 1 କୁ ଗଲା if you could able to see it, please. The following factors constitute economic environment of business. That means these are some of the factors. मैं अपन को group रे दीटा photo छाड़ीची, same photos दीटा को group रे छाड़ची. So जदि factors कुड़ा सेठी देखी परिबे, you please say it. And आज class time एमती ही करिया को पड़िबो. Next class को I'll try to do something where it will be connected. Right? So I have placed something. Please go through that. It says that these are the factors which constitute our economic environment of business. The factors are economic environment is being created through the economic system of any country. It is also being influenced by the economic planning. It is also a great extent for the influence for what kind of industries we have, agriculture we have, infrastructure we have. Also, the economic environment is influenced by financial and fiscal sectors. One of the major duty of economic environment to remove the regional imbalances, make price and distribution control. Economic reformation, also very major part of economic environment. Human resource, who are the centralized resource of any economy, need to control them. It is also part of one factor of economic environment. And per capita income and national income also plays a vital role in the economic environment. Tamane dekhilo ki slide I have already shared in your group. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Lastly, finally, it came to the, ତମମାନଙ୍କର screen ରେ ଦିଶିଥିବ. Fine. Okay. Right. So this is what we called what is economic system. Now, what do you understood by economic system? ତମମାନେ କଣ ଭାବୁଛ economic system କଣ ହେଇଥିବ? Anyone? What is economic system? Yes. What is economic system? I mean, every day paper रे पढ़ुचु, news रे देखुचु, and somehow देखिबे अपन को जो news reader थिबे, they said the Indian economic system is a faulty economic system. The Indian economic system is something which is not able to revive. The Indian economic system is required to be revived. The Indian economic system needs to be, polished. What do you mean by that? That means there are rules and regulation which is being created by the Constituent of India, the rules and regulation which is created by the Ministry of Finance, the rules and regulation which is created to increase the or create to increase or develop economic environment. That is what called the economic system. So ajika date re jodi apan dekhuchanti Indian economic system, the Indian economic system consists of various things. Kothre consist kochi? There are rules and regulations. You can say that ଗୋଟେ ତାର ମୁଁ example ଦଉଛି ଯେମିତି କି ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ ପ୍ରଧାନମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର 5 ବର୍ଷ ଯୋଜନା, economic ଯୋଜନା ଯେମିତି କି ବେରୋଜଗାର ଯୋଜନା. So these all are consist under the economic system. Then came to the economic planning. Now, what is economic planning? Time to time, could you please, someone is, please, tankar background noise aschi jodi tame mic ta ko mute kar dobo bhalo hobo. Please try to identify kahara aschi background noise. Okay, fine. Now, what do you understand by economic planning? Economic planning consists of that kind of plans which is being created, which is being implemented, which is being formulated and controlled by the government of India to increase the business environment, to increase the facilities for the business environment. So that was called economic planning. Third is industries. Yes, please.
Economic planning again, ma'am.
Economic planning are those kind of planning of government of India through which the business environment makes more stronger himself, and also business environment ro jo smoothness thae taku se create karuchi. Smoothness in terms of jete apanଙ୍କର business environment ro activities thibo achi, that needs to be smoothly run. Fine. तार मुझे बहुत छोटा example दोची जेमते हमें देखो जो Indian business environment right now it was not developing. Fine. And government time to time try करूची कि ताको revive केमती करिबा. Ajika date re ame the country like India was very much बहुत पछुआ अछि को country to जेमती कि you can say the Japan, UK, USA, China, even को समस्त हमें somehow we are not able to cope up in the in terms of economic system with these countries. Now, what is the issue? What is the challenge? More chotto difference hochi. If you go to China, you could not find a product which is have a sustainable product. Fine, sustainable. That means what? Products are available in China, but you could not able to use that product for a longer time period. Upon got a longer time period, find got a product to use for pariveni. Every product have a limited, the uses of the product is for a limited time period. That's why when the time period is over, you have to throw it out and you have to buy once again the same product. India re kono hochi ame sabale dekhuche sustainability of the product. Product ame kitte adhika use kari pariba. Jette adhika use kari pariba ame se product ko kinuchu, and we thought the market will we are being benefited. But yes, maybe if you could able to use a product for a longer time period, you may be benefited out of that. But in terms of market, yes, market is not benefited if it was the product are for the longer time period. Chinese product is called the product the market system is called market myopia concept को समझने बेसी adapt करंती. Myopia concept है specifically यदि अपन बहुत deeply study न करंतो अपन यदि easily बुझुचंती, the concept is called use and throw. And सबले मन
Sir,
रखंतु जे use and throw came along with a very minimum price product. आपण जे use and throw product किणुचंती, it must be came along with a minimum price product. Then what the particular facilities kono na product loko kinibe, if it is available with a very minimum price, people will buy. And simultaneously the product is not for a longer time period. That's why one can buy, use, and once the use is over, then he will throw it out very happily. Fine. So in that way the economy moves. But Indian economy re problem है कोन, we always think about sustainability of the product. Product a बहुत longer time period पर्यंत आमे use करिबा, हमरो economic planning somehow it will fail.
So, ma'am,
Just one simple example. Yes, please.
मैम सेठी पई कोन vehicle रा validity maximum 15 वर्ष रे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अप्लाई कर लगी कि गोटे vehicle maximum 15 वर्ष पई यूज कर पे.
Definitely आपनकर जेमति कि it was not only one particular vehicle रा आ गोटे basic मु जानि नि बट पेपर रे जोटा जोटा बाहर थिला मु पढी छि vehicle जो आपण चलौचंती ताको दी 15 years तो अधिका भी आपण एटा तो आपण ट्रांसफरेबल तो 5 years भी रहउची ना, तो तले आपण 5 की 6 year max to 10 years हे जाउची, तार product रो price and value was fall down with an extreme level. So that's why it was not advisable to go along with the product with 15 years. एटा खाली एबे आगु को आपनकर गोटे नुवा नुवा कांसेप्ट आसुची गवर्नमेंट रो, जोटी आपण देखिबे कि बहुत गुडे प्रोडक्ट उपरे सरकार around 3 years 4 years पर ban लगे. That means you could not able to use the same product for 3 years or 4 years, and it will be starting from the MNCs first. जेमति कि different kind of softwares, if the software change, the MNCs, the companies have to adopt it. You cannot say that, you cannot escape yourself by saying that ठीक अछि हमें पुराना सिस्टम रे काम चलौछु. No, you can't. You have to buy it. Fine. एमती करके सरकार को बहुत जिनस रे restrictions पकेबे, and maybe it was came from the upper head. Upper head कहले जेमति कि companies business organizations start हबो, तापरे individual public पाखो को आसीबो. And आदिरे मु भाबुची आदिरे कोनोसी खराब no, government was not taking any wrong decision. It was a completely a right decision to run a country where population is 130 crore plus. You can't compromise with everything. आपण सब जिंस रे compromise करिवेनी. जेतला में इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम कथा पढुछु सबले मन रखतांतो गवर्नमेंट पई कि गोटे इंडिविजुअल जेमति मु आपण माने आमे जेमति इंडिविजुअल आमे सबले गवर्नमेंट पई गोटे प्रायोरिटी रे आसुछु. बट सेठी जेतले बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आसुची, गोटे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट आसुची, गोटे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आसुची, they are not priority. They are not priority for the government. Government pay priority ke amme mane jemti ki individual persons are priority always for the government, and government sabu bale priority ko besi kon diye emphasis dochi. Then we have some other factors that was called industry, agriculture, infrastructure. ekura ma agu padhibi. Financial and fiscal sector. What do you understand by fiscal sector? It already tomorrow ME re padha hechi. What do you understood by fiscal sector? Yes, anyone?
मैम फिस्कल सेक्टर रे माने गवर्नमेंट जनरली एमती करे कि जहाँ भी माने जितेबले माने डाउन चले, डिप्रेशन रे चले गोटे इकोनॉमी गोटे माने कंट्री रे, से टाइम रे ता पाखरे जो पैसा थाए रिजर्व रे सेटा को इन्वेस्ट करिया स्टार्ट कर दिए. लाइक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हला, रोड बनेबारे ए सब जिंस रे से इन्वेस्ट करिया स्टार्ट कर दिए.
Very good, very good. In India, we know we are actually, there are two popular, policies are there, very popular. One is called monetary policy, one is called fiscal policy. It was there in your syllabus also. Monetary policy is governed by RBI. Tar basic kama hela kon monetary policy ro na create money. Now, how to create money in a bank? If you give maximum loan then it will create money. Am I right or wrong?
Right, ma'am.
Yes. But if you give facilitates different kind of savings, it is also create money, but it was not as compared to the other one like loan. Same thing I coach you. What is fiscal policy? Fiscal policy is the it is governed by the government of India. Our basic ideology है कौन? Fiscal policy is the जेमते हमें कोनु कोटे budget की sorry हमें जेमते कुछ कोटे balance sheet रो दीटा side साहे कोटे ला credit side कोटे ला debit side से दीटा सब बड़े balance से ही रहिले ही से balance sheet कोचो बुझी पड़चंदी सेंती fiscal policy ला कौन ना government रो किसी income अच्छी किसी expenditure अच्छी ये जो income और expenditure जो balance से ही रहिला then we said that fiscal policy is absolutely great. यदि ये जो income और expenditure पे imbalance है ताले ये जो मैडम कहते that is true. We'll talk about in that जितने imbalance होची तो कमें कुछ fiscal deficit. And जितने government of India is facing some problem in terms of this balance. Income or expenditure जो balance ଭିତରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ problem होची ସେତେବେଳେ fiscal deficit होची and in that time period government of India tried to sell its different securities, government securities se sell करूची repo and reverse repo concept को आसुची से RBI through रो पैसा नौची to recover himself from this fiscal deficit format. Then came to the next point that was called removal of the regional imbalances. It is very essential that हमें जो regional imbalances देखचु जोटा कि इंडिया रे ही देखा जाए अन्य कौनसी country रे regional imbalances नहीं. Fine. So regional imbalances who control करिबा it is very much required. Now what do you understood by regional imbalances? Regional imbalances means what? The prices of the commodity was different from the other regions, like state-wise. Upon the state-wise debate, जो general commodity which started from food products to cosmetics to dresses to any other thing, even in infrastructure also, you could able to find out the prices are completely different from each other. Got it? So that regional imbalances should be removed or should have to be controlled. What else was there? Price and distribution control. जो price and distribution control अच्छी India रे, that is also in a very bad condition. जेमती कि आपण नहीं जानते petrol price which is there in Orissa, that is different in Delhi, that was different in Mumbai, that was completely different in Kolkata and us. Fine. So it price and distribution control is very much essential, which is not there in India. Then economic reformation. Last economic reformation के भी हिला पिला मैंने India रे last economic reformation के भी हिला. Anyone? Anyone who wants to answer this? Last economic reformation.
Ma'am,
Sorry. Saubhagya, Sobilani.
Demonetization ଯେତେବେଳେ ହେଇଥିଲା ma'am ସେ ସମୟରେ.
Demonetization. Very good. That was the last kind of reformation which was made in India. That is in time of demonetization. That is absolutely correct. First reformation कोटा ହେଇଥିଲା? Economic reformation. Anyone? First economic reformation. In India, the first economic reformation was made in 1991.
LPG reforms.
Yes, it was in 1991. It was under the supervision of Narasimha Rao Committee, and এটা ସବୁବେଳେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର objective type question ଯୋଉମାନେ prepare କରୁଥିବେ ସେମାନେ ନିଶ୍ଚିନ୍ତ ଏଟା face କରିଥିବେ. It was under the supervision of Narasimha Rao committee, and in that time period our finance minister was Dr. Manmohan Singh, and that was the first reformation of India where India introduces LPG concept, that was called globalization, privatization and liberalization concept. And if you see in that time period, the history says the maximum growth of Indian economy was seen in that time period. Fine. Our last economic reformation that was being announced by the government of India, and it was processed by RBI, which is called your demonetization, to stop some of the currencies of India and to create value for other currencies, and to stop the black marketing reformation was made. Next ଆସିଲା କଣ economic environment रे ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ vital role play କରୁଛନ୍ତି କୋଉମାନେ ନା human resources. ବହୁତ time ରେ आपण କହୁଛୁ କି human resources are the central tendency of any organization. Might have been you use of very super super computer or maybe robotics or something like that, but ତାକୁ ଚଲଉଛି କିଏ ନା ତା ଚଲଉଛି ଗୋଟେ human resource, ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ ଚଲଉଛି. That's why it is very essential that the economic policies or economic system or everything needs to be controlled by an individual, that is a human resource. Lastly, we talk about the per capita income and national income. No, I'm not going to detail. Fine, I'm not going to calculation. Just tell me how these two are interrelated with each other. Per capita income and national income. How these two terms are being interrelated with each other. Anyone? How these two terms are being interrelated with each other? Tell me if I would ask a simple question. That if per capita income increases, national income increases, or yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And vice versa situation bhi dekha jaba. If per capita income decreases, national income decreases.
Yes.
Acha. Okay. Kete jano kocho yes bili?
Yes.
Mu kochi no. In 2013, the Economic Times says that Indian national economy stood in the world ranking. They stood in 11th place, and per capita income stood in the place of 87th rank. Fine. How what is the difference between two? We say in India the concentration of economy in the hand of very few, that is almost 3%. Tamane India re 3% loko achandi, they are holding the 90% economy of India. They are the high rich group people, and baki jo 97% around people rohile, they are the people who are average earner, low earners and weaker section. That's why the jo country re apon dekhibe per capita population is very high, and the concentration of money in the hand of very few people. Seti apono ei jo apono parallel chalutiva eta kohunandi ki if the per capita income increases, national income increases, eta apanଙ୍କର କାମ ଦବନି. India like country re କାମ ଦବନି. କଣ ପାଇଁ କି ନା ଏଠି concentration of the economy in the hand of very few group of people. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଯଦି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ପଇସା increase କରୁଛି ତାହେଲେ ଆପଣ national income increase କରିବ. But ଯଦି per head income be increase କରୁଛି of the weaker section and maybe for the middle class people, ତାହେଲେ ଯଦି ସେ concentration ର decrease କଲା ତାହେଲେ ବି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏଟା per capita income increase କଲେ ବି ଆପଣ national income କୁ ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ. And that is in India that is one of the major drawback. ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଯଦି history ki ପଢିଥିବେ, in the time of Third World War, what Napoleon was made, Napoleon was take a very strict decision that the whole तांका देश रे जिते पैसा थिला बड़ माने धनी मानकटो गरीब मानकटो सब पैसा को नै आसी नेपोलियन कोन करथिला ने इक्वली डिवाइड करी समस्त को दे देले. That was called capitalization and civilization, जोटा कि only one person Napoleon करिथिले कोन पई, because third world war is there and people do not have money. जो माने weaker section थिले, जो माने struggling and fighting for the food, जो मानकर थिला से मानकर पैसा नथिला, सेति पई से समस्त को पैसा आनी कि बांटी देथिले. जदि आपण सेंति कर परिबे, then you can say that per capita income increases, which leads to the increase of national income. But jadi upon India like country kochane, no, it was not exactly worked, right? So these are some of the factors which which make an impact on the economic environment or economic system. If you have any question, please ask. Kara kichi question achi? Yes, of course, someone is placing a message that LPG opening the Indian market, that is absolutely correct. And LPG concept create one more concept in India, that was called concept of MNCs, the concept of outsourcing business. The Purburu LPG concept outsourcing was there, but it was very limited. But once globalization is introduced, outsourcing jo business outsourcing ta open he gala, and people are more going to foreign to create their business and all, so that was also increases. Ebe gote nuwa apankara law aschi, apan mane janchandi ki nai mu janni, but that is called Volvox law, jothire apan mane janithibe lockdown bele bahut loko thile, those came back from the different countries to India, but still they are working for their country. Like Mr. X came from Canada to India because of this COVID and all. Taku ta company dakuni se ethi boschi ta company pai kama kochi and he earns in dollar. And se dollar re kon hochi na India ko jetla aschi, it will be converted to Indian currency. Now there is a new rule came asi bo aguko, which is called Volvox rule. Setere jo mane foreign currency ta every month re tankara turn to Indian currency hochi, tanka paingi taxes rate ta sarkar badhauchandi. So एमती करी different economic changes सरकार धीरे धीरे आणुचंती to create a powerful economy. जदि आपण powerful economy न करिवे कोन असुविधा हबो? Anyone? अबे इंडिया रे परिस्थिति कोन जदि इकोनॉमिकली हमें कहबा कोन अंबिका की कहबा? आनंद, अपराजिता, आशुतोष,
डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमिक मैम.
अरे भाई आउ डेवलपिंग काई गोटे साइड रे आपनकर रहिला श्रीलंका, अवस्था देखुचंदी ताको चाइना माडी बसला. श्रीलंका इकोनॉमी नाउ इन द हैंड ऑफ चाइना, नेपाल इकोनॉमी इन द हैंड ऑफ चाइना, पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमी इन द हैंड ऑफ चाइना. आ बाकी जो तीन साइड रहिला सेठी रहिला पानी. जदि इंडिया ऊपर चाइना अटैक करबा, हमें सब कोन करिया? पानी को डीमा. इफ वी कुड नॉट एबल टू बिल्ड अ स्ट्रांग इकोनॉमी, अभी भारत से सरकार रो मेन objective है इकोनॉमी को स्ट्रांग करिवो. If it is not possible, then the future of India is going to be very much in a very dark condition को पड़ेगा. अपन टिके imagine करंतु ती हमर गोटे साइड 1/3 माने गोटे पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन इज पूरा लागि चे ओशन को, आ गोटे पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन जोटा की जोटा थ्रू रे हमें इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस करूछु, जहा थ्रू रे हमें इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड्स को जाउछु, से सब धीरे धीरे चाइनीज चाइना अंडर फंसी जाउछु. So this is the time where India has to pop up with the economy. जब देखिए इकोनॉमी से तो pop up न करियो, maybe in future we are also facing the same issues, challenges, problems what Sri Lanka is facing, what Nepal is facing. That's why in the very near future, government was placing different economic policies to strengthen the economic environment of India. Fine. Okay, our questions achi. Okay, fine. Then we'll stop the class. And tomorrow, जेमती कि मु कहि छी ED class ता तमरो 6 टा रु हबो. और सर जदि किछि changes करिवे, we will put the information in the group. Baki other classes are remain unchanged. जेमती टाइम टेबल अच्छी सेमती हबो इफ आमे सबले तो जानछु कि डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन केतले आसी जाय को टीचर नहीं परंतिनी जेतले आसीबो वी विल इन्फॉर्म यू अकॉर्डिंगली and से हिसाब रे क्लास हबो and if any of you have any issues problem regarding classes and all मु तो तमर पर्सनल नंबर रे तम ग्रुप रे अछि तम मते जदि ग्रुप रे मेसेज तो करि परिबोनी you can drop a personal message to me and I will try to find it out. Okay, so should we close the class? Or you have any questions? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then thank you so much and have a nice night. Kali tomorrow pune 8 ko class. Thank you.